want to start with Halo. Obviously, I'm still watching it. I'll review 6 and 7 together. There goes recycling. So I'm going to do 6 and 7 together. Based on what I can remember, I did not go back and rewatch any of this stuff. Tomorrow's episode seems pretty cool. We'll see how that goes, but anyway, 6 and 7. 6 was the end of 5. The fight happens, and McKee gets dropped by the Covenant. It's obviously a setup to get her in there to learn more or whatever about the artifacts and shit. So she's in there, and Master Chief's interrogating her, questioning her and stuff. And she's telling him stuff like, hey, listen, I'm the same thing as you, we can access this stuff, you can control your emotions or some shit she's saying, through the ring, or not the ring, through artifacts, you can kind of gain control of that or some shit. That's happening. Halsey gets the boot from what she's doing, and I think Miranda gets, takes over. The other woman, Margaret, I believe her name is, she's gives her the boot, and she's like, listen, you can blackmail us all you want, but you're fucked too, or whatever. So she's hanging out with her, the other guy, sidekick or whatever that she hangs out with, Halsey. So she's back in her apartment. She meets up with Miranda Keyes and puts a camera in this contact lens to get information out of her. So it's kind of making it seem like she gives a shit about her daughter, but she kind of just wants information. And Cortana's able to break through some stuff to contact Halsey in her apartment. That happens. I'm trying to remember. Oh, Chief talks with the other Spartan guy. And I think one of the other Spartans' names is Vanek, but I can't remember the other ones still. But he talks with Kai and he tells her about how they were kidnapped and shit or whatever, I'm pretty sure. And Kai gets better, and it seems like the other two Spartans are a little, kind of ignoring her in a way, and you get to see a Spartan laser and a hologram. They're talking about a new weapon. And she goes in there briefly and is looking at some other weapons or something. These are really quick recaps and overviews of this, because I can't remember a lot. And they did not impress me enough, the episodes. I mean, the other one was actually more impressive than I thought it would be. But anyway, and then at the end, Chief goes in there again, because McKee's like, oh, go in there. So no, wait. McKee wants to go in there with him to touch the artifact, but he's like, I'm doing it myself. So he starts doing it, and then, then McKee's about to kill this other woman, because she's like, I need to go in there with him, and her little plasma finger comes out. But before she can do that, so it makes it look like she's doing something fucked up, he touches the artifact big time, and then she starts spazzing, fucking falls to the ground, starts twitching. Because now he's having a massive vision, and they're afraid he's gonna die, because I think his shit's all just his vitals are all dropping and shit. And you finally see the actual fucking, the big Halo ring. They're on the ring, and this part was fucking hilarious to me. The ring looks good. You'd expect it to fucking, looks like out of the game. And McKee says she doesn't know what the Covenant want, which I don't know if that's actually the truth or not, but they're on the ring, and then she's there too, and they're talking. And I swear, I was like, are they gonna kiss now? What's happening? Is this where they kiss on the Halo ring? What's happening here? But they're both there. They see the ring. Like I said, I can't remember a lot of it. That episode was okay. I mean, I would go 5/5 on that episode. It was the definition of just fucking average. And I once again might be being a little too lenient. There was really nothing going on other than that shit. Honestly, I might have missed a few things, but that was a quick recap of that one. And then episode 7 was the Quan Soren centric one. A lot of it was Quan, and there was some Soren stuff going on, and then they meet up. But she still wants to fucking get rid of these guys on Martigal. And so there's a scene of her younger, not too much younger, but she's eating dinner with her family, and this other kid comes in who wants to fight. And Quan's dad's saying stuff to him, and Quan's like, don't lie to him and shit. Pretty much saying if we win, you're gonna go back to what you were doing, and if you die, well, you die. Either way, you're gonna be doing what you're doing anyway. So she's like, why don't at least tell him the truth? So there's a little tension there. And it goes back to present day. She meets with the group of women, like out in the desert, that her father met with. That they were like, listen, you gotta save us or whatever. You gotta protect something. Now, Chief is actually in this episode, and the fucking funny thing is, he's in a vision. Quan goes to see these women, and they're like, you're not worthy or some shit. And then, they give her something, and all of a sudden she, like, has a vision, right? And Master Chief's there back on the ship from the first episode, the Pelican or whatever it was. And he's not talking, and she follows him back into, like, one of the tents in their little village type thing. He's in the helmet the whole fucking time. It's like the one time he, like, you don't actually see his face. But she has to, like, fight him. And he keeps killing her. And then eventually she realizes, I need your help type of thing. And he helps her up. And then she gets more of a vision of stuff. And she sees a bunch of other people from her father and a few other people. Actually, no, I'm sorry. You do see him without the mask. I'm pretty sure he appears again, Chief, without his gear on, his suit on. So she's like, I have to do whatever. It's like they're protecting a certain thing or something. Like their city type thing they had in the beginning. The first episode where the fucking elites attack and kill everybody. That's like, I think they're like protecting something underneath. I forget what the fuck it is, like oil type shit or something. But no one really wants to help her either. And then the Fincher, is his name Fincher, meets up with another woman that's part of like the resistance, and he's like, where'd she go and stuff? And she's like, I don't know. I want to get back to somebody. Shoots her in the back and kills her because clearly he's a bad guy, right? And this is all happening. And then Soren's back on his little home thing, that like rock that's set up. And I guess one of his business partners, is like questioning him. There's a little tension there too, and then because there's a little party going on. And he's like, where is this? You lost the fucking girl, you lost the bounty and all this shit, you didn't get anything. And then he talks with that guy in an elevator, and the guy's like, we got a score on a UNSC ship. I forget what they're looking for. It's something like with slipstream technology or whatever that they could use, and they'll be able to outrun everybody. And so, there's a little heist action going on here as well. So he's like, all right, let's do it. We're going to do that. So that happens. They get on the ship, they just show him kind of taking it over and taking these things. And then Soren, like, drops this thing on the dude's foot, and he's stuck there, and he's like, don't you dare fucking kind of, like, question me. I run this shit or whatever. And everybody else come with me, kind of like everybody on my side now. But he doesn't kill the guy. He actually takes the thing off his foot, and he comes back. He doesn't leave him there to kind of get caught or anything. That was kind of interesting, but very quick. And then he goes back to Madrigal, because she goes back to that little city. She's the only one there. And then he appears there too. And then Fincher and his gang group, whatever, come, and they're like, we're going to kill you. Because he's trying to find her and stuff. And then he tracks her through a thing or whatever. And they got to set it up now. They're going to battle these guys. And they want to get into like a vault because she's going to blow up the fucking thing. The giant oil thing or whatever the fuck it is. So what happens, you get some good Soren fight scenes. He's kicking some ass and shit. That was kind of fun. You actually see him without his shirt too, so you see his arm like all fucked up and shit from like the experiments or whatever the shit they were doing on him, the modifications, when he was still in like the Spartan fucking program. But he fucks up some shit, and there's some cool little things. Yeah, like the guys walk in and they see the dead elites, and he's like, this is what the aliens look like, ugly bastards. Like, so they still don't even understand, like she does, and Soren knows, but like the other people are kind of still like dumb to the fact that like the Covenant exists, even though the UNSC's been telling them, but not. Kind of like in the first episode, they're like, holy shit, they are real, they weren't lying. And, but yeah, so Juan's got to do some, Soren's in trouble because he's pinned down, he's taking guys out, he's doing all cool shit. And then Juan grabs a plasma grenade, which is kind of a cool scene, and she fucking puts it on this guy, the guy's back, and the guy's like, what the fuck is this? And he explodes into like a fucking plasma ball type thing. That was kind of cool. Soren eventually gets shot by Fincher. Is that his name? Fincher shoots him. And he's kind of taunting him or whatever. And then that's when Juan uses the grenade, and she also uses, I forget the fucking name of the machine gun, the fucking kind of standard Spartan gun, and UNSC gun. I can't believe I can't remember some of these names, but she uses that a little bit. Things get confused. And then no, she shoots the thing, and then it explodes, and then they get into the thing, and all the bad guys die, and they're safe, and then this stuff's gonna come. It's not oil; it's like some kind of whatever the fuck resource it is. Comes down. Soren leaves her there. She hooks him up too because they find a thing. She wasn't lying. A bunch of money or whatever the fuck it was. And he's like, "You could take some of this. Is way too much." He's like, "Don't worry about it." She's like, "I may need your help again." He's like, "I don't want to see you again," kind of thing. He'll pop up again though, sure. So he leaves, and like she got rid of the bad guys. Like I said, I could be missing stuff in there. I didn't mind this episode, actually. I was much better than I thought it was going to be when I saw the previews. Wasn't bad. This would have been a cool, like, just sci-fi episode if it was like another type show, you know? But in the Halo universe, it's kind of weak. You get Chief and her vision, but other than that, it's just strictly all that shit, but they seem to have tied that up. I honestly didn't mind that episode. I thought it was better than the episode previous. I would have went more like a 6.5 on this one. Because it was action. They got through the fucking plot of this quickly, the side story. There was good action, some little plasma grenade stuff and shit, little things in there as well that were fun. I'd go 6.5 on this. I think a lot of people hated it, but honestly, I didn't mind it. I thought it was better than the episode before. There was action, at least. The episode before was boring. You get the Halo ring, that's all. I'm going to do a full show review on this show once the season's over. I think there's 2 episodes left. And I'm going to point out the goods and the bads and shit, because there are things I like about it, but there's a lot of shit. Like I said, I'm giving it a lot. I'm being very lenient with this show, and I shouldn't be, but, you know. But, like I said, a 5.5, that first one, I'd go maybe even like a 6.5 for the other episode 7. This new episode looks good, though. The preview, it seems like a glassing of a planet. Hopefully, it's solid. Tomorrow's episode. Okay, and we've been watching a Holy Moly season 4. It's on ABC. It's a mini golf / like wipeout game. You might have seen it. Steph Curry's not the host, but it's Joe. I forget the guy's name. He's an actual broadcaster, and Rob Riggle. They do the thing. It's lighthearted humor. It's corny humor. I like it. And it's fun. Fun show. I've been watching that. I'm not gonna review that, but that's a fun show. I like that. It's nice lighthearted stuff. And the other movie we watched the other day was the Uncharted movie. Honestly, I fucking like this movie quite a bit, actually, honestly. I'm gonna be honest. I was a little nervous about it going in, but, you know, it takes place. I'll talk about it in a little bit. There will be spoilers here. But it starts off with, I think this is from Uncharted 4. I've not played it, but my friend said it was, like, him and his brother in the orphanage, and they try to steal something, but they get caught. And his brother's gonna get, like, taken away, but his brother, like, jets out the window and leaves. So my friend said that was from 4. They try to steal something. Him and his brother when they were young. So that happens, and it goes to present day. He's working as a bartender in the city. And he, like, steals stuff on the side. He, like, steals this girl's bracelet. And then Sully pops up in the bar, and he steals the bracelet from him. And then he leaves it, like, his card in his pocket. And then Tom Holland goes sees him. He's like, "I need your help with something." He mentions his brother as well, because his brother got older, and worked with Sully, and he was sending Drake postcards. So they meet up, and then they gotta steal this one thing. Chloe pops up too, Chloe Fraser. I don't know, the other woman's name is Braddock, but I don't know if she's in 4 or if she was made up for this movie. Because she's working with Antonio Banderas, which is... They're looking for this fortune in the Mankato, for, like, the Mankatos, I think they were called. That Antonio and Banderas' family going back. Their fortune's supposed to be theirs, and his family back in the day, in like the 1600s or something, sent them to find gold, and it was Magellan, and sent them to find gold, but they never found it, or they did, but they hid it and they didn't tell him. But anyway, he thinks his fortune's his, so they got the 1 key. Chloe has the 1 key, and then they got to get the 1 key from the auction house, which I think also might have happened in 4. I've not played 4, I only know some of it. I've seen some cutscenes. I think my friend said there was an auction scene as 4 as well. So that happens and shit, and like they go on their adventure and shit. Honestly, I enjoyed the action and shit. Some of it might have been a little too convenient, especially towards the end. But I thought it was cool. The action was fun. I'm gonna say right now, since it's supposed to be younger Drake, I really thought Tom Holland was solid as Drake. Like, I did think he was solid. Oh yeah, and there's a scene straight out of Uncharted 3 with the plane. It's in the beginning, in the plane where the fucking the crates fall out and he's holding on, and then it flashes back to the beginning, and then it goes back to that. Because that takes place later on in the movie. So they do take scenes out of other games. Unfortunately, no one's bullet sponge in this, where you have to shoot him like 6 times in the head before they die. But there's good chemistry between him and Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, Sully. I thought as Sully, once again, as a younger version, I could see it, and I'll talk about the post-credits cutscene in a minute. The chemistry was there. They're like kind of fucking sassing each other and busting each other's balls and shit throughout. A lot of people turn on each other in this movie, kind of a classic Uncharted shit in these kind of movies in general. Like I said, there's gonna be spoilers. They'd meet up with Chloe, who has the second key thing, and then she steals the second one, but they get it back. And then there's cool little adventure stuff in there. They gotta use these keyholes in a church at one point. And then again later on, Chloe and Drake are underneath and under the ground, under in the sewers, kind of. Sully's up top, and then he has to use the key to help them out because the water's coming up. Honestly, it was fun. I don't know, it was a fun movie. I actually really liked it. Good action, good set pieces. A little bit was obviously completely ridiculous. There's a funny scene, actually. In the auction house, Drake goes to kick like one of the thugs. And he like kicks him in the chest and falls over. He's like, what the... He's a wise ass like he is in the fucking games. This takes place before Drake's Fortune, so you don't have Elena there. I honestly don't think Chloe came into the mix. I'm not sure if Chloe was in the Vita one. I gotta go back and play it. I will say this movie made me want to play the games. I was like, fuck it, I gotta get hold of PS4 or some shit. Get the Uncharted collection, play for the first 3. And like I said, I've never played 4 because I haven't had the PS4. Or that other one that stars Chloe and that other woman, the TLC, whatever, kind of a standalone one that came after 4. I don't know who that other woman is. That's why I don't know if that woman was his Braddock character or she's someone else completely. Chloe pops up in 2, I believe, originally, right? Like I said, I can't remember. I haven't played those games in a while. The actress who plays Chloe was good too. Antonio Banderas was good. There's a little twist involving him too, which I didn't see coming. And the Braddock woman, but she was good too as her character. Badass. Everybody's pretty badass in this. Sully's always fucking complaining about shit. Drake gets him a cat in the beginning, which plays into the cutscene at the post-credits cutscene. It was fun though. The acting was good. It was fun. The story was a little like they come across the giant ships. The ships were in like this cave, very Goonies-esque, and there's a giant hole at the top so they can airlift them out conveniently. Right? Giant hole. That was kind of fun. It's kind of like pirate battles, but the helicopters holding the things. And of course, Sully wants the gold, and then he loses the gold, and he gets some gold at the end, so he's excited. And it makes it seem like Sully's going to turn on him at the end, but he doesn't. He helps him out. Because they are buddies, after all. Chloe turns on him a few times. Drake, actually, I knew this was coming. Drake finds out, like, where exactly it is. And he puts the coordinates down, and he knows Chloe's going to turn on him again, so he puts fake coordinates that she takes. Yeah, I saw that coming. Like, there's no way he's falling for that again. And eventually he puts on the holsters, the classic Drake look with like the white shirt and the gun holsters and stuff. I thought it was good. I thought it was a good nod to the fucking games, honestly. Like, I really did. Like, I know a lot of people were nervous, but I thought they were both good. Now, maybe in his second one, if you're trying to make him older, it might be a little tougher because Tom Holland's still young. I thought he did well as a young Drake, honestly, and I thought, Mark Wahlberg as Sully was solid. He kind of had that Sully attitude down. Doesn't obviously have to look, but there's 2 post-credit scenes because it makes it seem like Braddock killed Drake's brother, and Sully was with him, and he gets pissed at Sully because Sully kind of left him there to die, but he's like, I couldn't do anything about it, I died too. But then there's a post-credit scene that shows Drake's brother in prison writing the postcards to him, because that's how he finds out about the thing. He used this lighter that he has throughout the movie that he uses. And he figures stuff out. And his brother, you see, is still writing to him, telling him, like, watch his back. And then there's another post-credit scene that sets up the first game. Now, this character that Drake's talking to, I don't believe was actually in the first game, but he's working for the main bad guy in the first game. And he's like, oh, I got this information. And he tries to fuck with him, but then all of a sudden Sully comes in. And then they get that information. They jet out, and all of a sudden they're both... And it's funny, too, because he's like, you were late. He's like, he has the cat with him. Sully has the cat in his backpack. He's like, I don't go anywhere without Mr. Whiskers. And you see the cat. I thought that was kind of cute. And then they both leave this building from this thing, and all of a sudden there's another person there, and they're like, oh shit, but you don't see who it is, so everybody's trying to figure out who that could be. But like I said, I probably missed some things here too, but action was good, the acting was solid. Of course, some of this action was way over the top, but that's what they do in these movies. It had a very good Indiana Jones type feel to it. Not as good as those, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it like a lot more than like a Red Notice. I thought it was fucking good. I mean, let me know what you guys thought about it too. I thought and oh yeah, I forgot to mention in the cutscene, he's got the fucking Sully mustache, Mark Wahlberg, and his hair is kind of like Sully. And I was like, oh shit, now I fucking see Sully in the look too. So if they make a second one, hopefully that he sticks with that look. But the chemistry was there. You could tell everybody was having a good time. I would give this movie honestly an 8.5. I fucking really enjoyed it. Not as good as a Sonic, but I think they're getting better with these video game things. Movies, adaptations. I thought it was good, honestly. Good action, solid acting, fun romp. And it took. Oh yeah, there's also a cool scene with Nolan North, the guy who voices Drake. Because after they fall out of the plane, they land and they will come up to a resort beach. And Nolan North's like, "Whoa, what happened?" He's like, "Oh, I went through something like that too." He says something because he was in that scene in Uncharted 3 with the crates coming out of the plane, and it was cool because they're playing the classic Uncharted theme. Dun 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 dun. I love that theme. It's so nostalgic. I want to talk about video game nostalgia. That 2007, the first Uncharted, so fucking nostalgic for me. But I thought that was cool having him in a little cutscene, like a little thing, and then they play the theme a few other times after that. I thought that was cool to have him in there. But yeah, I would have given it about an 8.5. I liked it. I fucking liked it, honestly. But yeah, just come chewing what I've been watching and reviewing that stuff. But thanks for checking this out, and have a good